My name is Taylor Rowan, and this is Confident Risks. Today, we're going to talk about the springboard to success. And you have to decide what success is. Is it money? Is it happiness? What is it? But there's always one common denominator that springboards us. Let's get into it. Springboard to success. It sounds really easy, but really there's one common denominator that you have to have or you have to do in order to springboard yourself into success. And that's one thing: get out of your comfort zone. I know this goes a lot or maybe really tight with what we talked about last week, which was get out of your rut. You kind of get into the same groove every single day. You're doing the same things. You're going to the same job, right? You're in this rut. How do we get out of it? Well, we start saying yes to more things, right? So we get into our social settings and we really get out of that rut. But if we want to take the next steps in life, we have to springboard ourselves. And in order to do that, you have to get out of your comfort zone. We get used to every single day doing the same things. Again, kind of like that rut. You kind of have the same pool of people that you're around. And when we're in that comfort zone, there are things that we can anticipate. There are things that we know the outcome is going to be of. I mean, I think to myself right now, as you guys know from last season, I'm a type 1 diabetic now. So I can go every single day and look and see, okay, what's going to happen to my blood levels? If I eat this is what's going to happen to my blood sugar. It's going to spike me up. I know if I go do this, it's going to maybe even not spike me at all, so I can eat more, right? So it's very easy for me to tell now what I can eat, what I can't eat. I get in this comfort zone. And what happens is I get out of the comfort zone. Sometimes I go somewhere new and it's a surprise. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with my blood levels? I'm kind of talking about the same thing in our everyday life. We get moving forward. We're going to the same people. We're talking to the same groups. We're doing the same thing every single day. But what is it that can actually springboard us forward? That is getting out of our comfort zone. I'm going to think back to maybe 4 or 5 different instances in my life where this happened. Last season, I talked about this on a business level, but now I'm going to talk about it on a personal level that everybody can relate to. For me, I grew up playing soccer, and I can remember in high school having a huge decision. The football coach came to me and said, "Hey, we want you to kick for the football team." And I can remember thinking in the back of my head, I'm scared. I don't want to do it. And so I went home that night and I really thought about it. I was like, why don't I want to do it? Is it because I'm scared, or is it because it's just something I don't want to do? And the answer was I was scared. And because I was scared, I thought to myself, is that a good reason not to move forward with it? So I decided ultimately to do it. And I went forward with it. And I went on the next day, I went out to the football practice and kicked. And it ended up being one of the best things that I did. It was something that really springboarded me. And what I mean by that is I had this common thing. I was going to school. I was playing soccer. I was doing my thing. But then I got this opportunity to play football. And I had this whole new group of friends, had this whole new opportunity, this whole new thing to really reignite myself. You guys can think just to yourself. So that thing that reignited you, you're doing the same thing over and over. And you have that one thing that comes up and it kind of gives you this new sense of purpose. That's because 99% of the time you had to step out of your comfort zone in order to accomplish that. You had to take something on that made you uncomfortable. We think back to like Indiana Jones, the movie, where he takes the one step. He's on you guys all know the scene. He's at a cliff and he has to take a step off. He can't see the next step, but he just trusts the person. And he takes a step and he steps and he lands. That's what we have to do when we step out of our comfort zone. When we step out of our comfort zone, we don't know the answer. And that's what makes it uncomfortable, is because we can't predict what's going to happen. Just like my blood levels, I eat something new. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen here? And a lot of times I found out, man, I can eat this now, or I can eat this in this moderation level, right? And I didn't know that until I stepped out of my comfort zone. The same thing goes in our everyday life. As we're doing the same things, we think to ourselves, man, there's this new job opportunity. I don't necessarily know if I want to take it right now. Well, why don't you want to take it? It's because you don't know what's going to come of that. You don't know who the people are going to be. You don't know how that's going to be. You don't want to make a bad decision. But the reality of it is we're in the same thing every single day. If you want to take the next step in life and fulfill happiness, financial success, whatever success you want to go and succeed, you have to step out of your comfort zone. Another analogy I can think of is it's a fisherman who's fishing the same pond every single day. Maybe if it's a small 1 or 2 acre pond, just really small pond, he's fishing around. He's expecting to catch the world's largest fish, or he has this goal to do it. He can't keep fishing that same pond. Eventually, you eat everything up. You can sit there and fish every single day because you like it, but you're not going to achieve a goal that you want to do of catching maybe the world's largest fish or something different. You have to go to a different pond. We have to look for those same things when we're looking to have success. So let's go down a couple different areas where we might see successful. The first one's going to be financial. And this really ties a lot back into season one, which is business. If you are in a current situation or at a job and you know what your raises are each year, you're probably not going to succeed at the financial success that you want to have by doing that. It's going to take you stepping out and doing something different. And sometimes I can think back to this, and even people that I hire now, I can look at people now and say, man, that's the person that I want to bring on because they have this, this, and this. And a lot of times when I approach those people, like, hey, I'd like to bring you on. I'd like to poach you from where you're currently at your job and bring you on here. A lot of times they're kind of surprised by that because they're like, man, well, I've been at this job for so long. I've been so loyal at this position. I don't know if I want to come over. I'm like, look, I want to bring you over. I want to bring you on to this new opportunity. And believe it or not, a lot of times that's a very hard pull to get people to do because they're so used to where they're at. They're so valued at where they're at. That's the people that I want. Those are the people that I do want to bring onto my team because those are the people who are successful. Maybe the person or the owner at that company realizes that they don't want them to leave. Those are the people that I want. And for a lot of you, you're that person at your company right now. You're the person that maybe gets taken advantage of. Maybe they get given way more work than they need to have. If that's the case, maybe you're undervaluing yourself. Look for a different position. If you don't like it, go to a different position. I talked about this last week. If it's happiness that we're looking for, maybe it's not in our job. Maybe it's just the things that we're doing on an everyday basis. Maybe it's even where we live, the city we live in. I can remember the second biggest decision that I had to make. I told you a story about when I went and played football. The second biggest decision that I had was I succeeded at football, and now I had the opportunity to play college football in Illinois, and I was living in Florida at the time. I had to move from Florida to Illinois. And the sound of it was great. You're at high school, like, man, I'm going to be going next year to Illinois. I'm going to be playing football at Western. It sounds really cool, but then the rubber really hits the road. Oh, shoot, I got to leave and go there now. And so you start thinking to yourself, your heart starts beating. There's the unknown. You're like, what's going to happen? I don't know anybody there. You start getting really worked up. This is going to be way out of my comfort zone. I'm packing. Think about that as a high school kid. Leaving where you know and going to a whole nother state where you know nobody and your parents are no longer there. That's a very scary thing. And for me, it was outside of my comfort zone. But I said, you know what? I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to go and do it. And it was the second biggest decision I ever made. It put me outside of my comfort zone. And some of you guys are in that situation too right now. Maybe you got job opportunities in other areas. And well, I just have this nest that I'm in right now. I know the community that I am. I know the people that are here. I know this area. There's no way I could ever live anywhere else. Why not? The second you go somewhere else, whatever it is, that job or that other, whatever it is that's moving you there, you're going to meet new people. I'm not telling you guys, hey, you got to move to a different area. But at the same time, if you're battling with that, do I do it? Do I not do it? Do it. Why not? What's the worst that could happen on that? You move there. Oh my gosh, this isn't the best thing. You have to move back. You're going to look back at those instances later in life and be glad that you did it. I talked about this back in season 1, where I talked about looking back 10 years from now, are you going to wish you did something? And if the answer is yes, then you have to do it. That's how I constantly springboard myself now, and it comes from self-motivation. How are you self-motivating yourself? If you're self-motivating yourself, you have to put yourself out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's going to work out in the morning. Man, I just got to get up at 6 a.m. Self-discipline, man, I'm in my comfort zone, just being in my bed. I don't have to get up. Put yourself outside of your comfort zone. Self-motivation. That is absolutely huge. There's only so many people who can tell you one thing. What it boils down to, are you self-motivated? And if you're self-motivated, you're going to be able to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Think of it this way. Self-motivation. It's like you have your own gas station for your car. Okay. You go home every single day, you fill your car up. Okay. You're not relying on motivation from other people. You're not relying on having to drive to the gas station. You can just fill up your tank whenever you want. That's what happens when you're self-motivated. It doesn't matter where you go. Maybe that gas tank's in the back of your truck. I don't know. You get the idea here. You go anywhere and you can fill yourself up. That's what self-motivation does for you. If you look for motivation outside of just yourself, you'll never get it. You might get it from people, but you're never going to actually succeed. I heard a great analogy, and I can't take credit for this. This is something that I heard from somebody, but it's this. Successful people do a lot and fear they're not doing enough. Unsuccessful or lazy people do a little and expect a lot in return. If you are one of those people who fear that you're not doing enough constantly, but yet you're always doing something, you're probably one of those self-motivated people. You're probably one of those people who will be successful. And a lot of times I see those people as the one who don't want to go do something themselves. And it's because they fear they're not doing enough. If you're one of those people, you're doing enough. I can promise you that. You need to take the next step in whatever it is that you're doing. The people who feel a lot of times, oh, I can go and do that and like to hear themselves talk, a lot of times are the people who maybe aren't doing a whole lot with themselves and they can just think back and sit back and say, oh, yeah, I could do that. No problem. The way I look at that is people watching NFL games or college games. I kicked for obviously through college and thereafter. And I love hearing people now as I'm sitting at a restaurant or somewhere and someone misses a kick and say, oh, I could have hit that. The reality of it is it's easy for you to say that because you're sitting at home in your chair. But when you get out in front of 50, 60,000 people and you have to kick a field goal from 35 or 40 yards out, it's a lot different than going out to the local high school and kicking 25-yarder, because that's what I hear a lot of too. It's like, oh, I'll go out and kick that field goal right now. You can't replicate kicking in front of 35 or 40,000 people, okay? Those are the people who sit back and say, oh, I could go and do this and I could start my own business, but I really don't want to. Or, oh, I was going to go and do this, but I got injured and I couldn't go do it. If you are the person who fears that you're not doing enough, a lot of the times you are the person who can take that next step. Start putting self-confidence in yourself that you can do it. In order to be successful, you have to step outside of your comfort zone. And here's the best telltale sign of if you're doing that or not. If an opportunity comes up, let's just give a couple of examples that probably a lot of us can relate to. Let's just say it's your kids' youth soccer team and they need a coach. And you're thinking to yourself like, oh my gosh, I don't necessarily want to do this. I'm just scared. Maybe what are the parents going to think? I don't know that I can do this correctly. Do it. Because everybody's thinking that. I myself, I played soccer and I feel like I'm a very outgoing person and I even struggle with that sometimes, but yet I do it anyway and I'm successful at it. Why am I successful at it? Because I'm confident in it. And some of the parents might say, no, Taylor's not very successful in it, but I feel that I am because I'm self-confident in it. Those are things that you have to look at. If something that you're wanting to do is making you uncomfortable, or maybe it's making you're a little bit scared to go and do that thing, you need to push through and do it anyway. It's the only way to springboard yourself to the next level in life. We've all played the app where the music's playing and little balls jump in and you have to get the ball jumping to the next level and then you get it to the next level. The only way to do that is to make moves. That ball will sit there and bounce all day long on the same level. It takes you going and making a move to get to the next level. That move is uncomfortable. I know when I'm playing that game, I'm uncomfortable. That ball's bouncing, it's doing its thing, and I have to make the move, and I get a little bit scared sometimes to get it to jump. There's always going to be that fear factor. But every single successful story, there's always a sense of having to step out of your comfort zone. That's the only way to get to the next level. You're never going to make a move or make a change if you're in the comfort of where you know you are. The word insanity. All of us know the word. It's very simple. It's doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Say it one more time. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. This ties in so much with last week and this week. Getting out of your rut, and if you want to make power moves, you got to get out of your comfort zone. Insanity. Think about an insane person, right? We think about them like, oh my gosh, they are clearly not right. But yet we do that every single day. We go do the same things every single day. And we say, man, we want to be successful either financially or with happiness or with our family or whatever it is. But yet we do the same things every single day. It's insanity. Literally, it's insanity. If you want to make changes in your life, if you want to be more successful, and you fill in the blank on what successful is for you, if you want to do that, you have to make changes. You have to get out of your comfort zone. If you're going to grow, you're going to be out of your comfort zone. It's that simple. And think about it this way. To be out of your comfort zone, a lot of us think about like public speaking. Think about what that does for some people. Some people are like, oh my gosh, I got to go public speak. I'm not good at that. I can tell you this. When I have to go public speak somewhere, I still get nervous. I think to myself, oh my gosh, what if I mess up? And I'm a pretty outgoing person. I mean, think about the biggest leaders in the country, the president of the United States, let's just say, when he gets up to talk to the country, you don't think that he's nervous about what he's talking about? Of course he is, but he does it anyway. Those are the types of things that we always look at. We're like, man, this person's maybe public speaking, or this person is doing such a great job at that. There's no way I could ever do that. The reality of it is that person also feels the same jitters that you do, but yet they get up and they do it. And if they fail at it, they're okay with that. Just like the podcast, I always relate back to this. I mean, sitting here talking in front of a camera to people, to me, I think, well, what if I mess up? What if I say something stupid or something that someone doesn't agree with? If I want to get better and if I want to grow, I have to keep doing this. That's why you will always see a new episode. As annoying as maybe it is for somebody like, there's Taylor again going off on another rant, you're always going to see this because I'm going to get better and better at it. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm showing you that I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. What are you doing? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. You want to be successful? Get out of your comfort zone. Do something new. I talk to a lot of friends and people who always talk about, man, I'm going to go start doing this. I want to start doing, this is going to be, well, what are you doing now? Well, nothing. Get out of your comfort zone. That's the only way to do it. We talked about the story of me going to play football when I was in high school. Very uncomfortable. I did it. Me moving to Illinois right out of high school. Very uncomfortable, but I did it. After that, moving out to Spokane, Washington, where I knew nobody. Uncomfortable. Moving to Pittsburgh. Very uncomfortable. The new job that I took, I knew nothing about the job industry when I started working for my father-in-law. Very uncomfortable. I was outgoing, I know, but I didn't want to look stupid. I started this business. What Tailored Containers. If some of you didn't listen to season 1, but my business, Tailored Systems now, very uncomfortable. Started that. It was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to fail? Am I going to succeed? Uncomfortable. All the steps that I'm taking now to grow the business, very uncomfortable, but I'm doing it anyway. It's because I know that the only way to be successful is to step out of the comfort zone. I encourage every single one of you who are watching this one today is to look back right now on the success stories that you had in life, because you have them. What did it take? I promise you, it didn't take sitting in your comfort zone. It didn't just come to you. You had to step out of the comfort zone. If you want to make changes now, whether it's your family, whether it's financial situation, whether it's your job, whatever it is, ask yourself, am I uncomfortable? And if the answer is yes, you're doing something right. I hope you guys are able to take something from today and apply it to your everyday life. If you were, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, stay sharp and stay resilient.